Hey guys, Duncan here, walking down the street, talking about my president. If you don't know, I live in liberal Oregon. I believe liberalism is anti-American. I believe they're not Americans. So I'm walking down the road, talking about liberalism in America, and I'm supporting my president right in Oregon, one of the most liberal states in America. Here's the thing they don't understand. Your options, a year ago this state was lacking in work. President Trump shows up and now we're working. President Trump has gotten better the longer he's in office, and America's winning finally. So many people don't like Trump, which I find hilarious, considering he is damn near everything that they say he's not. Okay? You get these liberals that have screamed since the very beginning. They've been crying. Let me tell you why they cry. They're crying because for the first time, one of their deep state, sadistic candidates aren't running in office. Okay, they're worried that for the first time we have a president who doesn't owe any favors, who doesn't have any allegiances to corrupt deep state, who seems to be speaking for the people, seems to be religious, seems to be fighting for America. I mean, he's adding jobs. We have one of the best economies we've had in years, if not a generation at least. People complain about Russia, and the more they complain about Russia, the more they investigate Russia, the more liberal scandals pop up, like Uranium One, like a collusion with Obama and Hillary Clinton, the Clinton Foundation, and many of the governors here in the state of Oregon, and many others. So as these liberals keep screaming about corruption and basically Russia, just keep in mind that there's been no proof of that collusion whatsoever on the Trump aspect. Okay, Trump basically came out and said there's been no collusion. And he was right, there wasn't. Yet, everybody wants to talk like somehow Russia made the election. Well, Russia didn't make the election. The only ties with Russia is the Obama administration and the Hillary Clinton administration. Those are the only ties to Russia. So, you can end that. And the only people that cheated during the campaign, the only people that cheated were, Hillary Clinton. So once again, it wasn't Trump that cheated. It was Clinton. It was the liberals. And as the more they scream corruption, collusion, the more they scream this, the more I'm enjoying it, because all it's really doing is exposing the deep state liberal corruption from the beginning. It's funny because nobody wants to talk about the fact that the entire liberal party is more interested in socialistic agendas with Bernie Sanders. They're more interested in big name families like the Clintons. They don't care about real corruption. They don't care about real scandals like the Clinton Foundation or the pay-as-you-go, pay-to-play. They don't listen or talk about any of that. They just make things up as they go. They want to talk about how President Trump's a racist. Well, that's hilarious considering he had a higher percentage of black votes than any other Republican president before him. More black people have went to work because of him than any president prior to him, even Obama. When the liberals enacted NAFTA, they sent inner city jobs out of our country. President Trump's bringing them back. So how is it he's racist? Not to mention the fact that he's married to somebody that's not necessarily considered, he's married to a Russian. How is he racist? Okay, everything he does is proving the opposite of that. Yet they continue to attack him. All without basis. And here's the funny thing. You talk about the Hollywood, which loved him in the 90s. You talk about the rap industry, which rapped about being him in the 90s and the 2000s. You talk about all these different groups of basically subverted groups in America who suddenly have a problem with them. Well, maybe that's because he's actually getting the job done. Maybe that's because he's setting the bar high enough that maybe nobody else is going to be able to come close to it. They want to tell you it's wrong to love your country. They want to tell you it's wrong to protect your sovereignty of your country. They want to act like somehow we owe everyone from all over the world something, when in fact we have our own people suffering right here at home. The fact of the matter is, until we're working, until we're back on our feet, until our economy is flowing, until we're capable of helping people, we should probably think about helping ourselves. Look around. Our economy was struggling. Obloit's big idea was to spend money in order to balance a even more so deficit. Listen, he wanted to create more debt to spend his way out of debt, which makes no damn sense whatsoever. Okay, here comes President Trump. He shows up, and suddenly this nation's working. Okay, this nation's proud again. People are getting out, they're waving American flags. They're showing that they love their nation. The only people fighting against that are the people who are not here legally, the people who don't want to work, the people who want to live off the system, the people who don't want to get off their couch. The only people that really are against President Trump are the people that are against America prospering. And that's a simple fact. They claim otherwise, but you can't be part of a party that believes capitalism should go away. If you like the car you drive, if you like the house you live in, the shoes you wear, the clothes you wear, the outfits, the phones, the TVs, video games, then the idea of socialism is ridiculous. Okay? The idea that we, as Americans, get to lose our rights every day in our own country. They attack our Second Amendment like there's no tomorrow. Okay, keep that in mind. All of which time they're taking away from us being able to defend ourselves. They're pumping in people into these sanctuary cities or states that literally want America dead. They want Americans to pay for being America. They attack our faith. They attack our foundation. They attack our president. They attack our history. They attack everything the entire way down the road. All of which time they're hiding behind their walls of sanctuary with their illegal friends, Obama's refugees, who are all basically Islamics looking to tear down Christianity in America. Then you got all these other people who have already been brainwashed and subverted by them. Because after all, the liberals love going into the colleges. They love brainwashing the youth into giving up their rights. They love it. Because here's the simple fact. If the American people stood as one, this nation would never break. It would never falter. But what these liberals want to do is they want to create all this conflict and confusion. They want to divide us, put us in different brackets, and then pump up the factors that cause us to hate each other. They do this so that they can get the sympathy vote. Some people call it the minority vote, but it's really the sympathy vote. Okay, and that's the simple fact. It's a sympathy vote. Feel sorry for me because I'm a woman. Feel sorry for me because I'm a minority. Feel sorry for me because I'm not rich. Feel sorry for me because President Trump makes more money than I do. Okay, this is the whole idea of this money for nothing, checks for free generation. Okay, the whole idea that people love things being handed to them. But when it comes time to pay for it, they just push the buck down the road. One of the famous things that the liberals were talking about was they continuously push to the next generation. Push the debt. Push the debt. Push the debt. Well, finally we have a president that says, let's deal with the debt. Let's cut the debt. Let's start paying our debts off. Because, isn't that what honorable people do? They pay off debts. So, it's easy to walk down the road and love my president. Because I finally see a country that's thriving. Despite the fact that all these anti-American liberals are trying to divide it, I see a country that's uniting. I see a country that's working. I see a country that's paying less taxes. I see a country that's secure and getting even more secure. I don't see how this is a problem. So that's what I'm doing. I'm walking down the street in liberal Oregon, talking about my president, loving my president. I'm a strong conservative. I voted for Trump. I'll vote for him again in 2020. I believe he's one of the best presidents we've had since the beginning. And that's pretty easy for me. Here's what I remember. I remember Jimmy Carter came way too young in my life. But I do know for a fact that a lot of cocaine came pouring over his borders in the 70s and then towards the 80s. I know that this led to Reagan and the war on drugs. I know it led to Reaganomics, which a lot of small businesses got hurt by. I know that from there, we went to Senior, who was about as deep state plant as it could get. And if you've heard any of the conspiracy theories, he's probably largely responsible for at least one assassination. And then we went from him to Clinton. And please, that's NAFTA there. Send our jobs elsewhere. Free trade. No money coming in, no money going out. Cripple the economy. Push debt off to the next generation. Then you got Junior, who could barely read a teleprompt. He has to be a deep state puppet, about as bad as they get. And then you got Oblowit, who I guess was a community organizer in one of the most crime-ridden communities in America. So I'm not quite sure how his failure to organize Chicago made him capable of running America. I know that he had several votes, and he voted president on each one of them. So, talk about having no qualifications whatsoever, which is something the liberals bash Trump for not having, yet they love Obama, even though he had even less. It's pretty simple when you think about it. You got one side who's pushing to save your gun rights. You got one side that's pushing to lower your taxes. One side pushing to put you to work. One side pushing to make America mean something again. And then you got the other side who's pushing for welfare, who's pushing for unemployment, who's pushing for Antifa, Black Lives Matters, who's pushing for so-called refugees, who's pushing for illegal immigration. You got these who's pushing for Bernie Sanders and his socialistic environment. You got, could somebody please point out the part of the Liberal Party that even says America? Because from what I've seen, every part of the Liberal Party to me screams, screw America. We want it to burn. So, I'm confused. I'm literally confused at how we can go from liberal America, we want America, 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 to, oh, looks like something's going down here. First on scene, Blue Lives Matter, first responders. Check it out. Not sure what's going on here. Try to get a view. See what's going on. Somebody probably got sick, had a problem. First responders doing their job. Love that stuff. Like, these are the guys out here keeping us safe, keeping us alive right here. Okay? Whenever you get a chance, remember that these guys are the ones that respond. They're the ones that show up when you call. When you get sick, when a loved one falls over, has a heart attack, or anything. These are the people that show up. You know? Always respect your police. Always respect your first responders. It's very important. These are actual heroes here. These guys are the ones that make it all go down. I'm going to try to stay out of the way here. I don't want to bother them, but I'm just giving them props, man. It's what they do. I love this. This is awesome. First responders, you got your volunteer over there. Looks like somebody passed out. I don't really know, but this is what it's about, guys. Right here. Say thank you. Always say thank you to those guys, man. Always. Always. They do a job that none of us want to do. Put themselves online every day. You know? The police, they risk their lives every day. 911, fire. You're talking about people running to fires to save people. You're talking about people that run into gunfire to go save people. You're talking about people who, they see death every day, yet they show up at every call. To me, you got to give those people you got to give those people love. Video's getting a little long now, so I'm going to end it, but gotta say, a lot of love for those first responders. Thank you for watching. Once again, please subscribe, like the video, comment in the box below, hit the bell for notifications. Peace, Duncan out.